is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this evening, lawyers react to Governor Fubara's plan to present 2025 Rivers budget to Oko Jumbo-led assembly. Customs seized drugs worth billions in Rivers port. Rivers NLC opts out of strike over non-implementation of minimum wage. Ipman Dangote reach agreement to lift petrol orders directly. On the foreign scene, Kremlin dismisses reports U.S. President-elect Trump spoke to Russian President IM Khaled Akhurbatov. The news shortly. First, a commercial break. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. Some lawyers in Port Harcourt have been speaking on the implications of presenting the 2025 Rivers State Appropriation Bill to the Victor Oko Jumbo-led State House of Assembly by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. It comes after Governor Fubara said he is optimistic that the 10th Assembly will give life to the 2025 budget proposal when it is submitted before them. In October, a federal high court also stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing allocations to the Rivers State government, saying Governor Fubara's presentation of the 2024 budget to a four-member House of Assembly breached constitutional protocol. A lawyer, John Kennedy, says Governor Fubara's decision is not wrong. Dr. Kennedy told our correspondent that following the defection of 27 lawmakers to another political party, the governor cannot revert to an assembly that is no longer valid.
Today was just a simple thing for us. What we did today, just a screening.
Apologies for the mix-up. Dr. Kennedy said unless a court declares the defection of the Martin Amelde-led assembly invalid, the assembly effectively no longer exists. On the spot, Wanla Chitam said Governor Fubara should not be in a hurry to present the 2025 Rivers Appropriation Bill to the Victor Oko Jumbo-led State House of Assembly. Mr. Chitam said this in an interview with our correspondents. In the meantime, another lawyer, Godspoor Egbule, urged the governor to comply with the rule of law. Mr. Egbule, who spoke on Nigeria Info's Hard Facts today, explained that a court had earlier nullified the presentation of the 2024 state budget presented to the Edison Ehie-led House of Assembly.
Swimming in an uncharted water, but you see, ours is a constitutional democracy. So no matter the best of intentions, you must comply with the rule of law, and there is separation of power and checks and balances. So the only authority to preside over the House of Assembly is Right Honorable Martins Amaewhule as of today. So I do not know the discretion that the governor has decided to exercise to now present the budget before a 3-member House of Assembly, not recognized by law.
Mr. Egbule also said that it is only the Rivers State House of Assembly and not the courts that can correct the decisions of Governor Fubara.
Obviously, there may be no sanction against him. But you see, whatever would happen would now depend on the House of Assembly, because you cannot expend public funds without approval via the budget. The situation we have found ourselves now is that whatever measures that will be taken as a corrective measure lies with the House of Assembly, not with the court. The only thing that the court will now do is stop the governor from, assessing funds. But remember, this is 2024 budget that the governor has expended up till November. But you see, the House of Assembly must rise up to the occasion as a corrective measure to be used on the governor.
Moving on, some residents of Port Harcourt have disagreed with the statement made by Governor Siminalayi Fubara that God's involvement in the political crisis has turned what was expected to be overwhelming challenges into opportunities. Speaking to our correspondent, the resident said God does not involve himself in political crisis.
God has no day for this River State issue. God no the day for where problem day. There is no God hands there. God no they supporting.
God cannot purposely want to initiate crisis just because somebody needs to fulfill what he needs to fulfill. So for me, I would say it's not true. God does not support or make things like that to happen.
God's hand is not involved in anywhere. That is all. There is no, quote me, guys, there is no God hand in politics.
Recall that Governor Fubara at a Thanksgiving service for the chairman of the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers said he believes God allowed the current political crisis to pave the way for a new direction in the state. In another development, Governor Siminalayi Fubara has promised to fix the Jim Rex Lawson Cultural Center along Bonny Street, Old Port Harcourt Township. Governor Fubara made the promise when he visited the center today.
We're here to assess this facility. It's an art facility that was constructed by the previous administration, and for a while it has not been put to use. As you can see for yourself, the facility is in a deplorable state. I'm looking at the possibility of fixing it to encourage our young ones that are into art and culture. We tend to bring up the issue, and part of our program is to use this particular facility as a base for it. That's the reason why we're here. I think it's not as bad as they said. We can salvage a lot of things here and put to good use.
Our correspondent reports that Governor Fubara earlier inspected the Wojia led to Alessa Refinery Road Bridge. Governor Siminalayi Fubara has approved the participation of the state and the federal government's Niger Delta Development Commission International Fund for Agricultural Development, Livelihood Improvement, Family Enterprise Niger Delta Project. Governor Fubara also approved the release of its counterpart funding for the full-scale implementation. In a statement, Commissioner for Agriculture Victor Key commended the governor for the approval. Mr. Key said the project, which will address food security and improve family enterprises in the Niger Delta, is an initiative of the federal government in partnership with IFAD, as well as the NDDC and 9 Niger Delta states, including Rivers State. He said the project, which is a 12-year project designed with a financing gap of 6 years starting from 2019 to 2025, will directly and indirectly empower over 35,250 poor rural youths and women in selected 10 local government areas and 10 communities per local government across the state for the first 6 years through agri-business incubation model. He said the project will complement the governor's stand on massive food production, food security, employment generation, wealth creation, reduction of poverty, youth restiveness, and other social vices in the state. We will go for another commercial break. Still to come, Ipman Dangote reach agreement to lift petrol orders directly. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. Now to the rest of the newscast. The Nigeria Customs Service Area 2 Command on Nair in Rivers State has seized containers of illegally imported drugs, including counterfeit tablets worth over 46.399 billion naira. The command also reported it has generated over 500 billion naira in revenue so far in 2024. The Customs Area Controller, Area 2 Command on Nair, Comptroller Mohammed Indede, said this at a media briefing on Nair today, where he displayed the seized drugs and tablets to journalists. A breakdown of the item showed over 2.5 million bottles of cough syrup, codeine, about 7.5 million tablets of 50 mg really extra diclofenac, over 7.5 million of 200 mg counterfeit gonorrhea antibiotics without a NAFDAC number, among others. Away from that, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has secured an agreement with Dangote Refinery to lift products directly. Ipman National President Abubakar Garima announced this in Abuja today after a meeting of the National Working Committee of the association. He said the partnership will ensure steady and affordable supply of petroleum products nationwide. In a related development, the National President of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ipman, Abubakar Maigandi, says he expects importation of petroleum products to end soon following the volume of refined products coming from Dangote Refinery. Mr. Maigandi, in a telephone interview with correspondent Ibi Oruwari, also explained the reasons his members always patronize those importing from other countries.
Yes, we have seen an end because even now, Dangote have said, if at all what he have said is true, he said he has over 500 million liters stock in his tank. So if he has that capacity within this short period of time, I think there is no way people will start going for importation. We don't want a situation whereby we may be buying product to the third party. But when it comes that there is no any alternative, there is nothing we can do than to go through them and buy, because already we spend huge amount of money in constructing filling stations all over the country.
Mr. Maigandi, while speaking on the transportation of the petrol to the various states, said the organization has encouraged the Dangote refinery to sell product through the existing pipelines.
Since we have a refinery in the country that is capable of producing, like the other depots that are nearby the river side, Dangote can be able to load them through the water side so that they will reach their depots, like people in Wari, Calabar, and Port Harcourt. So I think he can be able to be selling to our members through the ships, which already we have made that arrangement whereby all those sides already we have a depot. So if he can sell to us, we can carry it through the ship to carry it to our various depots along the River Nile area.
Moving on, the chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, says the Rivers workers will not join the strike because the government has committed to implementing the new minimum wage bill. Mr. Agwanwo said this on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire in reaction to the directive of the union that asks members in states that are yet to start the implementation of the new minimum wage to begin an indefinite strike from the 1st of December.
Some states have not come to say, well, we are paying this amount or we are going to implement. So these are the job we committed. It's going to be state by state levels. So we can't take a general decision. So if River State have implemented minimum wage and River State is paying, will you take a general action that will affect River State? No. That's why the statement was that let every state council that refuse to implement from 1st of November should commence to industrial action. So they did not say that nationwide action, because for those who are implementing, they don't have problem. His Excellency has given his word that whatever happens, the workers must be their salary. So and that he did not feel last month, and this month will continue to happen.
To safety issues, a safety expert, Kenneth Uyi, has advised that to reduce accidents involving compressed natural gas CNG buses, both federal and state governments should build and maintain roads that are compliant with CNG vehicle requirements. It comes as the federal government continues rolling out CNG buses across more states to alleviate the effects of fuel subsidy removal. Mr. Uyi spoke in an interview with our correspondent.
Basically, what we are saying that once you stay on the Nigerian road that are usually in most cases not motorable, the bottles will be shaking and have bottle cap hit one or two places. If users will be trained on when and where to use this vehicle and the impact of bad roads on the bottle itself, which brings about the risk of shaking of the bottle inside the vehicle, it will help the repair of our roads and advise also vehicle users, using CNG on the risks associated with the use of compressed gas bottle as CNG inside their vehicle on rough road.
Now let's take a look at the international scene.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
The Kremlin has denied media reports that U.S. President-elect Donald Trump held a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin in which he is said to have warned Mr. Putin against escalating the war in Ukraine. The call is said to have happened on Thursday. A Kremlin spokesperson said the reports were pure fiction, while Mr. Trump's team said it will not comment on the president-elect's private calls. Now a quick recap on the news this evening. You heard lawyers have reacted to Governor Favora's plan to present the 2025 Rivers budget to the Okujumbo-led Assembly. Customs has seized drugs worth billions in Rivers Port. Ipman and Dangote have reached an agreement to leave petroleum products directly. On the foreign scene, Kremlin has dismissed reports that the U.S. President-elect Trump spoke to Russian president over the war in Ukraine. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Kala Dakuru Batbo. Good evening and just stay tuned.